wa ugatuzi kama gavana. Kwa hivyo nimeonelea nikija katika Senate pia nitakuwa nimeelewa mambo ya ugatuzi, hasa nimekuwa yule ambaye unaweza kusema practicing governor kule mashinani.
Okay, let me get quick reactions from my panelists. Mark, what are your thoughts? Lusaka could actually be the next speaker in the Senate.
No, I think he'll definitely be the next speaker, just given his popularity within the Jubilee Party. You know, one of the things...
He's popular within the Jubilee Party?
Of course.
Okay.
You know why? He carried and persecuted the Jubilee agenda in Western Kenya in a time where carrying Jubilee was considered very hostile. So definitely, I think as gratitude towards him, I think he'll be given that position.
So this is a reward?
I think so. And let's remember,
Ekwee Ethuro.
Yes, that's my point. Who remembers? The point is, the point is, a lot of the speakers, the Speaker of the Senate, especially the Speaker of the First Senate, the thing that he needed to do was to have a lot of imagination given his position, because you've been given basically a blank slate. There is no other tradition, there is nothing else there for you to persecute other than to come up with new ideas of how you're going to run Senate. And what he did is he failed in imagining his position and imagining what the Senate can do and influence this country. In fact, a lot of the time, Senate was pushed by MCAs.
So you think he didn't do much?
What did he do? Do you remember?
You know, my take on the scramble for the Senate Speaker's position is simply because the Speaker of the Senate, who's been incumbent, is an outsider in the Jubilee power games. The one for Muturi has to be preserved for him because he's an insider in the Jubilee House. So it's behaving like...
outsider?
Huh?
Outsider? Okay.
Yes, he's an outsider.
Why?
The Jubilee power games as William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta and their cronies. Ethuro is an outsider. It's like having children in your home. When a new child comes to visit, you go to the children of your neighbor and take their toys to give, but your children retains their toy. Muturi is retaining his toy, the National Assembly. But Ethuro, being an outsider, he can't give it away. They can take it from him and use it to reward Lusaka.
So you think this is basically just because he's an outsider?
Yeah,
so they have to...
simply because he's an outsider.
Alex?
How many people are running for Muturi's seat? Nobody.
Muturi, there's Dr. Noah Winja and there's Washington Onyango.
Of course, those are people who are seeking publicity in the near future.
Linda, I have no doubt in my mind that Ken is going to carry the day with more than 80%. But more fundamentally is the fact that you must refer to the results of the just concluded elections, especially in relation to parliamentary elections. We were able to get at least 7 members of National Assembly from that region.
From Western?
Yes, from that region, where he comes from. That matters a lot, both in terms of parliamentary agenda, especially legislative agenda, and also in playing politics, going all the way to 2022. Yes, you must understand, this is not just a matter of below the nose. It is beyond the wall. So this is looking into all the way, yes. So this is a matter of trying to consolidate and solidify a region that was hitherto hostile, but now friendly to your political agenda. So I'm looking at this not only in terms of the instant gains, but also futuristic gains. Yes.
You know, one of the critical things, and I hope Mr. Lusaka is able to carry this cause. Lusaka is a former governor, now possibly turning Speaker of Senate. The primary mandate of Senate is to represent the needs of county governments in the Legislative Assembly. And therefore, we hope that Lusaka, having experience as a governor, will be able to be a defender of devolution, of devolution, a defender of the governors who do not have a speech in the a voice in the Legislative Assembly. Now, on this one, I have to say there is hope in terms of who is becoming Speaker.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's hope.
There is hope, simply because he's been a governor before.
So he understands how it works.
He understands how it works, and he understands what it feels like to be a governor when funds from national government delay, or when national government does not assign enough.
Linda,
Okay. Yep.
let's look at what my friend Alex was saying. He was saying, let us look at the figures in Western so that we see why Lusaka is being rewarded. Lusaka is not being rewarded because of those figures. Lusaka is being rewarded because he crossed the line when he knew he was not going to get re-elected. But these people needed somebody to stand in Western because they had planned before the election to get those 7 seats. Those 7 seats were decided before the election.
Carvings.
Yes, that is the truth. Let's not lie to ourselves here. So they just needed somebody to stand and take care of those seats as they will be delivered.
You do realize you're on your own with that sentence.
I'm okay. I'm ready to
As
do my
always,
own.
as always.
I'm ready to do my
Listen,
own.
okay, let's play politics a little bit. Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that 2 NASA principles actually come from Western?
Tuna, sir?
2 NASA
Definitely.
principles.
You know, if just to take on Alex's point, okay, if you're a politician, okay, with a political entity called a political party, and you want to hold ground in Western Kenya, you have to play into the fact that you've given positions to one of their own. This is how Kenyan politics
because
is.
so that you can balance.
So that you can balance. So the reality of the matter, even if you look at who is chief whip, deputy chief whip and stuff like that, you will notice there's someone from Kisii, there's someone from Luyaland, there's someone from everywhere. What you're trying to do is to build an argument for being a nationalistic outfit. And that's very important for any person who's planning to be politically alive in 2022.
And to add to what you have said, I am suspecting in the likely event that Uhuru wins the Supreme Court case, he is also going to play into the politics of the Lower Eastern. So he may try to get someone from there who is popular into his cabinet so as to neuter once and for all the existing leadership of NASA there who have been vanquished. Remember that even the Lower Eastern have rewarded Jubilee. The MP, if I'm not wrong, the MP for Machakos Town is Jubilee, if I'm not wrong. So I'm sure these 2 guys, being the guys I know, being very, very clever advice in terms of playing politics, they are going to get a very powerful person in the Lower Eastern. You had your time. In the Lower Eastern, into the cabinet, in the likely event that they are going to win the Supreme Court case.
Okay.
So not only in Western, also look at the other areas, Kisiland and also the Lower Eastern, that is the Cumberland.
Alex,
Yes?
it is very unfair for a sitting government to influence elective positions. They influence the members of the assembly to elect people from certain regions to take credit that they share Kenya well. What I want to see President Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto do if they win the Supreme Court case is to share the cabinet positions fairly across Kenya. Because that is what determines how a country is governed. You go at the chief whip, we have been distributed. Those are being elected by MPs. They are not supposed to be distributed by the 2 people leading Kenya. So these are people who are greedy. They take things and give their cronies only within the Kalenjin probably and the Kikuyu. We must have a Kenya which belongs to all Kenyans.
Let me be a voice of sanity here. Okay?
No, I'm very sane, Bwana.
You see, we need to remove our NASA and Jubilee glasses and look at our country, okay? The fact of the matter is this. Cronism is alive and well in both political establishments. Let's just be clear. You understand?
And honest.
On both sides.
On both sides. No,
But this is cronism at the national level, Bwana, where Kenyans are all involved.
Let him finish.
Okay, let him
You know,
finish.
DM can belong even to a family if we choose to, or a tribe.
Can
But
Mark
this is
finish?
national.
Okay, can Mark finish?
You know, I've been missing this thing,
where
Bwana.
I agree with both of you is this,
Yeah.
that there's a lot of tokenism and cronism in Kenyan politics. In fact, even if you are elected MCA, the guy who was your campaign manager will get a sweeping contract in your ward. You understand? This is the problem that we have with Kenya, that we think of the nation only in terms of our cronies and our friends. Now, when it comes to the issue of nation building, I want to hold President Uhuru Kenyatta, if the High Court, the Supreme Court affirms his leadership. He said, in his acceptance speech when he was getting the certificate that he will seek to unify Kenyans.
Yeah.
How do we unify Kenyans? First and foremost, we must understand that we must have the priorities of Kenyans the right way. The priority for me as a lawyer is not for you to give me a lawyer minister. Let's understand. The priority for me as a lawyer is for you to deal with the poverty in my lawyer land. For you to deal with the health issues in my lawyer land. What needs to happen is we need to arrest Moism, where if you did not come from my place, I did not develop if you did not support me, I did not develop your place. We need to move away from saying we'll give positions. There are 44 tribes in this country today. Will we have 44 MPs? No. What do we need to do? We need to have 44 plans for 44 different communities to move this country forward.
I don't think that is in doubt.
What?
No, I don't think that is in doubt. Even in their first term, Uhuru had no issue in terms of fair and equal distribution of resources and attention all over the country. That has not,
Did they do it?
That has never
They
been an
didn't
issue.
do it,
It
my
has
brother.
never been an issue. It has never been an issue. Let's not create issues that do not exist. The government has never, ever, especially Uhurutos, discriminated
listen.
regions.
How many Luos are in the government of Uhuru Kenyatta? None.
Kavis,
there
we have very many tribes. Like we have like what? 40 what?
44
Let me
tribes.
tell you,
tribes.
we have many. That is why we should not have 4 Kikuyus and none of a Turkana. If that is what we want to talk about. We cannot have people who take the government and distribute jobs to their cronies and leave the rest of Kenya and then complain why some people go to the streets. And then complain why when some people talk the way I
Mark, you
talk
get the
today.
final word. I need to wrap up.
No, you know,
Kenya belongs to all of us.
the reality of the matter is this, okay? Equitable distribution of resources and equitable distribution of people is not the same thing.
Yes.
Let Kenyans understand. You see, you cannot represent every tribe in cabinet because the key is instruction in the constitution is we are not even rewarding popular politicians with cabinet positions anymore. It was about getting competent people to do their job. In fact, I wish there would come a day in this country where for you to be a cabinet secretary, you're just called Mark and not Mark your second name, because then we will judge you on
So
whether
you're
they've
judged by
delivered.
your competencies
Let's see this. Is a
them deliver.
competent minister one who buys a container for 100 million? Is a competent minister one who builds a bridge for 1.2 billion when it is worth 100 million? Are those the competent ministers?
That is not what we're talking about. I'm not defending people who didn't deliver.
Please.
What I'm saying is we need to demystify as a nation what it is to be included. To be included is not saying that because my mother passed on, I need another mother to represent me. No. Being included means as a child, if so-and-so is getting school fees, I'm also getting school fees. That is the inclusive question. It is not about...
I need to wrap this up.
Yes. I think he is introducing...
Alex, you have 30 seconds.
Yes, he is introducing a non-issue. The issue of equitable distribution of resources has never arisen during the Uruto's first term. That has never been an issue. So for me, that's not something I would waste my time discussing.
What would you waste your time discussing?
And he's saying there's no rule in the cabinet. I do not want to answer him. He knows there is. One of the most
There
powerful
is none.
cabinet.
There's no rule in cabinet.
Cabinet Secretary of Defense. Is who?
In Lowland, once a lady is married in Kikuyu land, she remains a Kikuyu
You
forever.
can't say that. You cannot
That is
say
the
that. No.
Yes. You know, you want somebody, you leave the cabinet meeting and you go and sit with the fellow Luos and discuss Luo issues.
Can you talk about something else?
Kavis, you're on your own.
In the table of men, there is no Luo who sits in the cabinet.
You're on your own. People,